For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Management of Massey sends a letter to team members. I'll be going through the relevant part of that communique during the course of the broadcast. Another reminder to the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, and of course, more talk of the impact that the 2.5% levy is having on you, the people of St. Lucia. Welcome to another edition of the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on YouTube and the NewsSpin Facebook page. Kimani, good afternoon to you. I'm sure momentarily you'll have some information to share with us via the discussion that is taking place in the chat room. You'll also be able to call at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. According to the letter which was sent to team members of Massey stores, that is in light of the bad press and the calls that were made for you, the consumers, to boycott Massey stores yesterday, they have sent a letter out to team members encouraging them to hold strong, to remain focused, and also to always strive to provide members of the public with a professional and reliable service. So part of that letter reads, Dear team, I know that this is a challenging time for all of us, with rising global inflation and price pressure leading to higher supermarket prices. Global inflation continues to impact the prices of Let me read that again. Global inflation continues to impact the prices of all kinds of goods and services, including food. We are working diligently to mitigate the impact of inflation on our customers, but we cannot, at the current rate, absorb these rising costs, which are a direct result of supplier price increases, increased energy costs, and local new levies on imported goods. You heard this? We are working diligently to mitigate the impact of inflation on our customers, but we cannot, at the current rate, absorb these rising costs, which are a direct result of supplier price increases, increased energy costs, and local new levies on imported goods. Now, Massey is being very diplomatic, or let's put it this way, management very diplomatic in that letter, in effect saying you can attribute the increase in the price of those items to a number of factors, including the imposition of the 2.5% levy, when the Prime Minister said that the levy should not impact the price of food items at your supermarket. The key word you tell you, the operative word there is should not. Let us hear as well from Opposition Senator Harold Stanislaus, because he also addressed that issue during a roundtable discussion last evening. When I say that issue, I'm talking about the 2.5% levy.
When the Prime Minister made that statement, it was misleading.
Very.
He knew very well that the 2.5%, whether the item was zero rated, it would have caused an increase in foods. And Bradley amply said it. When the foods arrive in St. Lucia on the docks, the broker who does the clearing for the importer, there's a 2.5%.
Because he's providing a service.
Fee.
And there's a 2.5 on service.
The trucks, the hauling company that takes it to the warehouse, there's a 2.5%. The warehouse where the goods are stored, rental increases by 2.5%.
So who pays for that in the end?
I'm getting to that point. The trucks or the buses.
I suspect Bradley wants to come in.
No, let's go ahead.
The trucks or the buses that they use to transport those goods to the supermarkets, to the stores, there is 2.5% added now onto parts, maintenance, servicing of those vehicles. That when the cashier checks for you, the receipt you get, the paper from that receipt attracts 2.5%. The ink attracts 2.5%. So look at the number of 2.5% that are added to food.
Well,
don't you expect that the distributors, the wholesalers, are going to pass it on to the consumers?
Opposition Senator Harold Stanislaus speaking yesterday or last evening, to be more precise, during a town hall, or not a town hall, but a roundtable discussion on the 2.5% tax and cost of living. Let me hear from you right now. At 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And of course, Kimani will be going through some of the comments in the chat room. Now, amidst all this, the Prime Minister says, don't be too disturbed. Ensure that you remain focused on the right issues, the important issues. So things like the 2.5%, let's say don't invest so much time on that issue. Do not belabor the point. On crime, don't belabor the point. Let's focus on the economy. It's vibrant. The economy is growing. I mean, finally, we have some cruise ships coming into our shores. Those are positive things. The youth economy, positive stuff. Don't focus on the toll that this 2.5% levy is taking on you. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Good afternoon to you, Kimani.
Good afternoon, Tim. In the chat room, someone says, good afternoon, Tim and Kimani. The power is in the hands of our people. Note, large tuna fish is now $5.30. Not sure how true that is, but someone said it in the chat room. Another comment, Lucians, listen and learn. The truth is being told. And someone else says, Massey is telling us, don't blame us, blame the Prime Minister. That's about it in the chat room.
All right, thank you so much. So once again, if you are just joining us, Massey is attributing the increase in the prices at the supermarkets to local levies. And let me quote them properly. What they're saying there, according to a letter which was sent to employees of the company. We are working diligently to mitigate the impact of inflation on our customers, but we cannot, at the current rate, absorb these rising costs, which are a direct result of supplier price increases, increased energy costs, and local new levies on imported goods. So over to the folks who are monitoring the broadcast right now from the office of the Prime Minister, the PR people. I was hoping that you could issue a press release in response to what Massey just said there, or wrote to its employees. We have a call via WhatsApp. This is NewsSpin. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon, team. How are you? Good afternoon.
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
It is very difficult to get you these days. I don't know why, team.
Because this is the most monitored talk show in the world. Everybody's monitoring. Everybody's calling. Go ahead, sir.
It's not now I want to ask the Prime Minister that question.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have to tell him how to answer me too.
Because you don't trust his response.
No, it's not that no sure, sir. He may answer anyhow. But since the Prime Minister have that big advantage in the House of Assembly, I would like to ask the Prime Minister whether he had any intention to call a snap election. If yes, whether he still have that intention, and if no, why no? That is the question I want. Why? Because he is in a position to call a snap election. Because if you lose at least 3 of the seats you have there, you still in power. You still will win the election. So the question is, if you had an intention to call a snap election, if you answer me yes, did you steal that affiliation? And if no, why no?
Okay, but why are you asking?
That is the question.
What is the relevance of your question? Why would the Prime Minister want to call a snap poll right now?
I'm not talking about right now. Maybe next year or 4 years down the line. I'm not talking about now. But maybe next year, December or early 2024. I mean, early 2025. He have the advantage in the House. He have the advantage. So if he have to call a snap election and loses about 4 or 5 seats, he's still going to have the majority. But I would like to ask him whether he ever crossed his mind to call a snap election. That's all.
Okay.
I don't have any particular reason why, but I believe that's a relevant question to ask.
It is relevant. I don't see the relevance of the question, but only that I will tell you, sir, the most difficult task for a Prime Minister is to set the date for a general election. And I do not believe that that is a priority, or it even ought to be a priority for the Prime Minister right now. The Prime Minister has too much on his plate to focus on. Never mind tell you that we should not be focusing on certain issues, but focus on other matters that seem advantageous to his administration. The Prime Minister has to focus on, number one, the high cost of living. That could cost him the next general election whenever it is called. That folly of an error that the Prime Minister made in that 2.5% levy. He also has to address the crime problem, the state of the economy. So I don't see the Prime Minister thinking about the calling of a general election anytime soon, sir. Are you still there?
Well, that is... Yeah, I'm still there. I agree with your response. The Prime Minister will make a call a very early election.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought he would follow suit.
Okay. All right, caller.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. Let me see if I have any more of your WhatsApp messages to go through while we are awaiting your calls. As much as prime ministers love the fact that they alone can call or set the date for a general election. As far as the Constitution of St. Lucia is concerned, all prime ministers, I think, will readily admit that it is so difficult in coming up with the right date for a general election because it has to be to your party's advantage. And when you're there mulling over a date and something happens, something in the event, let's say in the form of a natural disaster, some man-made disaster, some upheaval, certainly would serve as a stumbling block. You want to set the date in an environment that is propitious, that would certainly signal that everything is okay, everything is favorable for your party and your government. We have a WhatsApp message. Somebody says, I'm not saying that supermarket pricing isn't partly to do with global supply chain price increases, but the 2.5% is a significant and real reason while prices are compounding with VAT and the health and security levy. I'm still not giving the Massey Group a free lunch because they're increasing markups exponentially to show up their sales and hence their cash flow to enable them to boost shareholder return on investment, their net profit before tax, and to be able to pay for their imports in the region due to the lack of hard currency in Trinidad and Tobago, where there is a shortage of US dollars. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. It is ridiculous how Massey brings up the price of items. Both government won't do anything about it because they're benefiting from it because Massey is one of their tenants. They would want to lose the money coming. They would not want to lose the money coming, all right? Another WhatsApp message. Tim, the 2.5% is a good thing for the country. It will benefit all of us in the long run. I agree with you, cousin. As a matter of fact, that's a cousin of mine saying this. I agree with you. The 2.5% is a good thing for St. Lucia. And I am advising the government to increase it to 10%. Cuz, you agree? Since it's a good thing, increase it to 10% because it will benefit all of us in the long run. Let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages. I got some messages from yesterday. I may try to go through them right now. Somebody says, the most expensive vehicle to drive now is a shopping cart. The most expensive vehicle to drive now is a shopping cart. And let's see if we have some more WhatsApp messages. Somebody says that, Tim, there is two Richard Peterkins. One who says the 2.5% is negligible, and the other who says it will increase poverty. Has accounting principles changed so dramatically in a few months? And let's see there. Okay, that's it as far as WhatsApp messages. What's happening in the chat room, Kimani? Anything there to report on?
Someone says, I think St. Lucia should change the constitution to have a fixed date for elections. Another comment, Timothy, we must be very careful for they will be trying their best as usual to closing down your show because they are saying that it's too informative to the people. So people need to be ready to give you their full support when that situation comes into play politically against your show. Nothing else in the chat room?
Yeah, I don't think the government likes any kind of opposition. But we are bracing ourselves in this world, in this environment. You have to prepare for anything. So anything at all is possible. 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026, 716-2026. Another reminder to the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. Words of wisdom. You first heard it on Wednesday of this week. We played it yesterday, and we are happy to play it again today.
The Prime Minister, I am not his advisor, and I don't think he will want me to be his advisor. But he needs to stop whining and moping and bellyaching and complaining. He needs to stop getting angry and defensive whenever he's asked a question. Mr. Prime Minister, answer the people's question. Whether you have the solution or not, get back to them. Tell them you will look into it, but the idea of telling people it's not their business, it is our business. And furthermore, all the problems of St. Lucia today are your problems. You have been Prime Minister for 2.5 years. Solve the nation's problems. Stop campaigning and begin leading. You are no longer leading a political party. You are leading a nation. Whether you created the problem, whether you inherited the problem, it does not matter. As the Prime Minister, the head of this country, you are supposed to solve the problem. Lead the nation. Do your best, and we will get behind you. Stop telling us how great your administration is. We have eyes, we have ears, we can see, we can hear, we can process, we can analyze. You don't have to, at every ceremony, you stop to tell us how great we are doing. We are not interested in that. Lead the nation. Address the problems. Think about the future. Think about our young people. Think about education. Think about health care. Mr. Prime Minister, you should be the last person in St. Lucia to go to bed at night. And you should be the first person to wake up. The problems of St. Lucia should keep you up at night because you are the leader. You cannot keep blaming everybody for every problem. You didn't create the crime problems. We all know that. You never told St. Lucians go kill one another. We know that. But as Prime Minister, do your best to protect the citizenry. Do your best to protect us. Do your best for St. Lucia, and we will stand with that. Because when St. Lucia succeeds, we all succeed. Handle the problems, be the leader, be the executive in chief, be the Prime Minister, lead the way, and we will stand by you. Until you do that, you are not going to win any one of us. At least you can write our names. And there are so many things you can do, and doing nothing is not one of them.
St. Lucian Elwin St. Rose, who called the broadcast on Wednesday. He lives in the United States. Just thought we'd play it a final time for the week. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have a WhatsApp message. Somebody says that, Tim, in an interview we heard the Prime Minister say that the UWP allowed the St. Jude's Hospital to rot. Don't you think going back to that very same building will eventually cause more problems? Mold issues in a few years? Well, that's what we are hearing. Some people are saying that be very careful. You go back to the older structures and what can happen within the space of a few years, as opposed to going to the new structure which was completed by the previous administration. But we all know that the Prime Minister is hell-bent on going to the old St. Jude Hospital. He has made up his mind, and I don't think that anyone can change that. No one will be able to change that for sure. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, Awa, Tim. I would just like to say kudos to the opposition leader for coming to the defense of C.O. Williams with regard to the Millennium Highway yesterday. This is in contrast to all of them in the present government who are very well informed with what has been going on that project and have been silent on it and have not lifted a finger to correct the issue. So much for a government for the people. Now, you could have deduced, based on the reaction of Infrastructure Minister Stevenson King to what has not been happening at the Millennium Highway project in terms of its completion, when he seemed cagey, when he just said, well, the contractor and the CDB and the government, they have come to some kind of agreement, and I'm paraphrasing there, and the workers, they were scheduled to be back on the job on Monday of this week, and they have given us, they have made a promise that the project will be completed by March of 2024. But what about the nitty-gritty? What about what resulted, or what in the first place resulted in the work stoppage on that project? So, as I said yesterday, there is definitely more in the mortar than the pestle. All right, we have another WhatsApp message. The government will never consider shutting down your talk show. They know we all wait for our lunch at 12:30 p.m. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. What is happening in the chat room, Kimani?
Someone says, tough love, advice from Mr. St. Rose. Another comment, don't be surprised when Massey shuts up shop and walks away. Someone says, we cannot compare St. Lucia to Dominica. The government of Dominica has been in office for many terms compared to the 2 years of the SLP government. Someone says, you do not lead from the back, it can only be done from the front. 2.5% is paid multiple times on a product in St. Lucia. If someone buys wholesale to sell, they pay it, and when the final consumer purchases, they pay that 2.5% again. In the state I live, wholesalers do not pay the sales tax, only the final consumer pays that. This money is then given to the state. Another comment, they have 2 more things to do before they call elections, make St. Lucia a republic and install a president. They already took us to the CCJ. Remember, they have the majority. That's it.
Thank you so much. Let me see if I could go through a WhatsApp message. We're waiting your calls once again at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says, Tim, is NewsSpin an anti-government show? I follow it all the time and nothing good is being said about the government. Why should NewsSpin say anything good about the government when our job is not to report on anything that's good or anything that's bad? Our job is to report on things that are impacting you and the rest of the St. Lucian citizenry. So we'll leave the reporting of good and bad things to other media outlets and other talk shows. For example, there are some talk shows where the government can do no wrong. Allow them to do that. There are talk shows where the government, everything the government does, everything is okay, it's great. That is their prerogative. As for NewsSpin, we just report on things that are impacting the people of this country because the people definitely come first. Your interests come first to us in terms of the high cost of living, in terms of your health, in terms of the security of the citizenry, in terms of the economic development of St. Lucia, in terms of a whole host of issues. All right, let me see if I have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, hello, Tim. I want to highlight that Massey's business model is a significant contributing factor to the high prices together with all those that were mentioned. They have been expanding the outlets across the island, which is a testament to their growth. Moreover, it is important to note that shoppers are primarily shifting their loyalty from one store to another rather than increasing their overall purchases. This shift in shopper behavior will likely lead to an increase in Massey's fixed costs, which will ultimately be passed on to us, the customers. And let me see if I have some more messages coming in. Do we have any discussions in the chat room to go through, Kimani?
Someone says, Tim, you remember the PM, PJP said he was the most ready PM to run the country. Tim, King has changed completely, and by his last comment about the bus drivers proves that the SLP is bringing out the real contentious, vile, and... Wait, I can't finish this comment. Someone says, I vote Tim for Person of the Year 2023 because he's the one Lucians ask about everything and airing their grievances about our current state. Another comment in the chat room. Why is no one discussing the equally high electricity prices? High electricity prices and high food prices affect who the most? Poorer households. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much. Still to come, the Prime Minister says he's not happy. Gives indication is not happy with the reception that he got at a particular engagement. That and a whole lot more on the most monitored talk show in the world. This is NewsSpin, and we are on Power 97.9 FM, YouTube, and the NewsSpin Facebook page.
First National Bank says get the home you've always wanted with zero down. That's right, as we celebrate more than 85 years of being here for you as the first indigenous bank, we're giving 85 individuals 100% financing to achieve their dream of home ownership. This is possibly the most important decision you'll ever make. 100% financing for your dream home. Call or come into First National Bank today and ask about our zero down payment 100% financing for mortgages. First National Bank, here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Introducing the new LuSelect Virtual Service Desk, where one click is your access to every service. From my account to streetlight reports, requests for payment arrangements to settle arrears, change of name and address. Easy online forms give you access from anywhere and at any time. Every service you need at your fingertips. Go to our website, luselect.com, and click on the Virtual Service Desk widget. LuSelect's Virtual Service Desk. Every solution at your fingertips.
St. Lucia, November 24th, the Soufriere Mini Stadium erupts for one musical night of pleasure. I'm talking about Sundown. Sundown, performing live, Kenny G. Whoa, I tell you, it's nice situationship, no relationship. And Jamaica's most trending dancehall superstar, Poleon. Valiant. Move out my way. And many more to be announced. Get your early bird tickets right now. Regular 110, VIP 250. Get your tickets at all the sell locations. Your Styles Barbershop, Ruby's gas station in Soufriere, Steve's Barbershop, and all W-Mart locations. Sundown, visit and blame yourself. Follow Luxio_Carnival for updates. This event is sponsored by KFC.
Things are heating up at the National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited. We've got some red-hot deals just for you with 100% financing. Rev up for some excitement with our incredible vehicle loan offer. Building or renovating, we've got you covered. Or pack up for that ideal getaway. This offer won't be available forever. Visit us today and take advantage of this limited time deal. Don't miss out on these fantastic deals with 100% financing. Only at the National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited. We're your friend when you're in need.
The Ministry of Commerce, in collaboration with the Embassy of the Republic of China, Taiwan, presents the 16th Annual St. Lucia, Taiwan Partnership Trade Show at the Pavilion on the ramp in Rodney Bay, Grosley, from Friday, November 3rd to Sunday, November 5th, 2023, from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily. Come, support the creativity of 69 local entrepreneurs and 16 Taiwanese businesses, including ICT and business solutions, food and beverage, and so much more. We will be hosting lots of fun games and activities for kids. Relax and enjoy the nightly live entertainment. Saturday features carefree karaoke with fantastic prizes up for grabs. Then on Sunday, we culminate in grand style with a strictly local fashion show and live comedy from Cox Productions. Don't miss out. Free shuttle service provided from the Baywalk Shopping Mall and back. Come witness the emergence of our next generation of entrepreneurs.
If you suffer with pain from fibromyalgia, lupus, sickle cell anemia, sciatica, or arthritis, luckily DeCourse doctor specialists from overseas in St. Lucia will diagnose and treat patients who have been suffering long. Luckily DeCourse specialists will treat the symptoms of stroke, brain injuries, spinal cord injuries with shoulders, elbows, knees, back, and neck pain, even plantar fasciitis being a pain of the past. Luckily DeCourse specialists in St. Lucia EMG tests will measure the damage in neuromuscular disorders and diabetic neuropathy, because luckily DeCourse doctor specialists provides proper diagnosis using the most effective treatment for you to live free of pain.
La Clinique Ducor, Call 451-6559 or 721-9950. Lab Clinic Ducor, located at number 17 High Street, Castries.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. Flow is keeping you connected.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Can't get a break from all this tax? Head to Automotive Art and get a taxcation. Automotive Art is offering you an ease from VAT and health and safety levy with savings of up to 15% and more. That's right, 15% of all tools, 15% of all accessories, 15% of car detailing, 15% of all rims, 15% of computerized wheel alignment, and 15% and more of selected tires with savings of up to 30% on some sizes. It's Automotive Art Taxcation. Visit us at Automotive Art at Vidbutei Castries and Latuni Vieux today and enjoy a taxcation. Offer valid for limited time. Some conditions apply. See stores for details.
Are you working that 9-to-5 job but also juggling a side hustle? Well, Elks Credit Union has great news for you. Introducing Elks Credit Union Side Hustle Boost Loan. Need funds to take your side hustle to the next level? With our Side Hustle Boost Loan, you can access up to $50,000, giving your side hustle the boost it needs. And here's the best part. You'll have up to 5 years to pay it back with flexible repayment options that suits your budget. Whether it's expanding your inventory, upgrading your equipment, or marketing your services, Elks Credit Union is here to support your entrepreneurial dreams. Don't let your side hustle remain just a dream. Let Elks Credit Union empower you to turn it into a thriving reality. Boost your side hustle today with Elks Credit Union's Side Hustle Boost Loan. Contact us now or visit our website for more information. Elks Credit Union, your partner in success. Terms and conditions apply.
Music check. Vibe check. The experience check. The brunch of the century is coming. Welcome to Sunburst, presented by Power 97.9 FM. Sunday, November 29th at Bayview Escape, VG Cove. Your heavy hitters, DJ Chens, DJ Mikey, Hollywood HP, and Power 97.9's FM DJ Fraternity. Early bird tickets are $130 and $180 for regular. Sunburnt is an ultra food inclusive, starting at 11 a.m. Get your tickets right now at Steve's Barbershop and Power 97 FM's office in VG. It's the brunch of the century. Sunday, November 26th at Bayview Escape, VG Cove. Party in the land of the heat. Sunburnt, presented by Power 97.9 FM and sponsored by Digicel, Quartz, Ready Cash, and Desperado. Welcome to Sunburnt. Sunburnt. Live, laugh, and dance.
I contact, I go make you feel my contact.
1
Continue with your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. It is raining in the nation's capital. How is the weather in your part of the world? Kimani, what's in the chat room?
Someone in the chat room says, Mr. Prime Minister, imagine you have two women to participate in the Miss Universe pageant. One is 80, St. Jude's, and the other is 21, new construction. Which one would cost less in time and money to prepare? Which one would you select to compete? Tim, which one would you select to compete?
21-year-old.
Another comment, Tim, is there a National Youth Council? Even they too have gone silent. Someone says, why no discussion about equally high? Wait, I read this comment already. Another comment in the chat room. Tim, the only time that people will stop crying is when Alan Chastney gets back to office. Let's see what else we have in the chat room. Someone says, nothing more going on in the chat room, Tim.
Okay, somebody is listening from Canada, so let us say hi to that individual who loves the show and who is either watching or listening from Canada. Another WhatsApp message, somebody says, in my opinion, I don't blame Massey because the Consumer Affairs Department allowed that back in the day from Julian Supermarket to purchase JQ supermarkets, hence creating a monopoly. Now Massey purchases Super J and has the monopoly. They can try to put a spin on it with the letter they send to the staff. However, the truth is they have the monopoly with the aid of the Consumer Affairs Department. Is it fair to say that Massey has a monopoly? They are the main supplier of those items in St. Lucia. You have a number of other small St. Lucian-owned supermarkets and boutiques. Now, if Massey has a monopoly, who allowed it to happen? Well, apart from the authorities, let's look at business people in St. Lucia. In a number of jurisdictions, including Barbados, you have what is called a Fair Trade Commission. I don't think we have such a body in St. Lucia. So a Fair Trade Commission would pay close attention to what is happening in the business environment so that it does not put consumers at any kind of disadvantage. In the case of St. Lucia, we don't have a Fair Trade Commission, and also the locals are not as enterprising as they ought to be. We have a call. This is, okay, we lost that call. 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. So I was saying earlier on, we need our entrepreneurs to be more enterprising, to be risk takers, to want to amalgamate their resources so that they can have a bigger slice of the business market in St. Lucia. We have a call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Guy Joseph. What's in the mind, sir?
Tim, I've been following part of your discussion. If you would recall, I have been one of the persons on many talk shows and many times at our town hall meetings. I have raised the issue and the concerns in relation to Massey and what is happening with the prices at the supermarkets. I have compared prices outside of St. Lucia. I have compared prices in Trinidad. So if Massey is not exploiting the situation, then the government is facilitating. And even if Massey is exploiting the situation, they can only exploit the situation because the government facilitates that. As you indicated, there's a Consumer Affairs Department. There are price control items. There are things that come into the country. Everything that comes into the country, Tim, is cleared at the port. We know the declared price upon entry. We know the markup. Who is looking out for the people? And you recall, Tim, when one of the reporters confronted the Minister of Commerce to ask a basic question about the possibility of price gouging. What was the response of the minister, Tim?
What is it? Kill it, kill it, kill it.
Kill it. So if the minister says kill it, which means don't go down that road. Don't come and question me about that. Now, that is on the part of the government. I think the idea of a boycott of Massey is an instigation by the Labour Party to divert attention. Tim, you remember when Chasney owned the supermarkets?
Yeah.
Super J. Who was blamed for the high prices by the Labour Party?
We know the answer to that question.
Chasney causing the high prices. And then they went after him. They attacked him. They said that the election was not against UWP and SLP, but SLP against the Chasney. I don't know what the Chasneys have done to the SLP. What I know is Labour Party don't like successful people. Now, people, you see the association they are trying to make about a shareholder. Who is the shareholder of Massey? Are you aware, Tim? Which local company is a shareholder of Massey?
I'm not aware, sir. Honestly, I'm not aware.
You're not aware?
No. Who is the local? There are local shareholders. Who are they?
The Charles company. You remember it used to be JQ Charles and Super J together.
Yeah.
So when Chasney, and I have verified that information, that Chasney is not a shareholder of Massey.
That I'm sure of, yeah.
So Tim, for people to come and say that Massey is not the only one, the 2.5% tax was not introduced by Massey. The 2.5% tax was a deliberate tax imposed by the government of the St. Lucia Labour Party against all advice. Tim, you were there when you as a news reporter. You remember the Chamber of Commerce coming out and saying to the government, this thing is not going to work out yet. At least wait until next year, January, to be able to implement. The government insisted. Now, have you heard Mr. Peter King's statement of most recent times in relation to the 2.5?
We played that clip yesterday, as a matter of fact.
You played it?
We played it. It was first played during the lunchtime news at noon, and we also played it on NewsSpin.
Why has his position changed so quickly? When a few weeks ago, his position was, that's negligible, that's neither here nor there. You see, when people that the society looks up to speak before they think, because they want to be relevant in discussions. Now, I'm not an accountant by any profession, okay? I did accounts at various levels, but I wouldn't say, I know enough to get by. And I know that any time you impose a tax thing, it could be 0.5%, it could be 0.02%, it can be 0.01%. It will have an impact. That is how taxes operate. Tim, and this compounded tax of 2.5%, if they had just gone to a straight VAT, it would have been 15%. But going to the 2.5% health and security levy, as they call it, Tim, this government, this Labour Party government, that's not the first time they've done that. You remember they have put an environmental levy of $12,000 on used cars?
Yeah.
You recall that, Tim?
Yes, I do.
Yes. And when UWP came into office, we reduced that levy to 50%. We took it down to $6,000 from $12,000. But for some reason, St. Lucians like to put burdens upon themselves by electing a government that every time they come into office, they make life difficult for the people. You remember, water has been increased by a Labour Party government by 166.5% over a period of time. While we have not seen an increase of water by a UWP government. We have now seen our electricity bills are going up to as these days it looks like electricity has gone up by over 30% based on the bills that people are receiving. How are people going to survive in this country? And then the Prime Minister tried to tell us that inflation is imported. This particular level of inflation is homemade. It is made by the 2.5% levy. And Tim, people are not understanding the compounding tax. That every stop the product makes and it changes hands, it accumulates a 2.5%. Are you aware of that, Tim?
Yeah.
So if I order, I pay the 2.5 at the point. If I go and I buy it from, if somebody comes and buys it from me to wholesale, they pay the 2.5. The person who comes and takes it to retail, they 2.5. And all of that is on the total cost. And then the VAT is calculated on top of that again. So when I was trying to do a calculation, Tim, and it works out that VAT would have been close to 17%. In other words, it is working out that it is close to 17% VAT that we are paying now, as opposed to the 12.5% that was paid. And I'm appealing to
I think in effect what the government has done, Mr. Joseph, is to increase VAT because it knows that it would have been very unpopular, it would have been politically suicidal to increase VAT. So therefore, it increased the VAT by calling it something else, a 2.5% health and citizen security levy.
This is worse than the VAT if they had brought it. Because remember, most of the places could claim back the VAT from the government. Are you aware of that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. With this one, nobody can claim it back. And people, Tim, it is early days in this tax, and people are already reeling under the pressure created by the 2.5%. Can you imagine 3-4 months down the road what is going to happen? And if prices continue to escalate on the world market, continue to increase, 2.5% of $100 is $2.50. 2.5% of $200 is the same 2.5%, but it is $5. So when you begin to understand that, you will see how compounding that tax with the high prices, and when the Prime Minister said to us that this was not going to impact food, see, we are seeing everything. So you have the letter from Massey, I assume. I have seen the letter from Massey. The public wants to go and quarrel with the staff at Massey, but the staff are just St. Lucians doing a job. They get paid like everybody else, and they have to buy the products with the tax. We did not elect Massey to represent us in St. Lucia. The government headed by Philip J. Pierre was elected by the people, and the government must be held accountable for the management of the economy and for making food prices out of the reach of people. If you saw in the letter from Massey, fuel prices is the most impactful on prices or inflation anywhere in St. Lucia. And from day one the government came in, they increased fuel to $17.95, unprecedented levels. And it was just a matter of time. Think people can build a house. Sir Williams just sent out a letter to its customers saying that the price of aggregate has gone up, the price of sandstone and everything as a result of the service charge of the 2.5%. See, people have not seen yet, but if we do not stand, and the Prime Minister said we accepted it, the UWP has made it clear we did not accept the 2.5%. And that is why we can clearly announce that a UWP government coming back into office will remove that 2.5. But we are giving the Prime Minister the opportunity first. He's the one who put the burden on the people. Remove that burden on the people. Because you are the one who brought it with your cabinet.
But Mr. Joseph, the tax is for a 2-year period. It is for a 2-year period. By the time general elections are called constitutionally due in 2026, the time would have elapsed for this tax to be in effect. Because the tax is for 2 years.
Is the tax for 2 years?
Yes, the tax is for 2 years. It's not indefinite. It is for 2 years. But you check it out. But no. The tax, as far as I'm aware, is for 2 years.
Somebody told me? Mm-hmm. When the Prime Minister said the tax for period products is for 2 years, you remember that, Tim?
Yeah.
You know what somebody asked me? Will all women go into menopause after 2 years? That they will no longer need these products. That is what the average St. Lucian is saying out there. Tim, I don't know that this tax for the environmental levy is for 2 years.
Not the environmental levy, the health and security levy.
For security and for...
Yeah, it is for 2 years.
For 2 years, yeah. No. The VAT on building materials is for 2 years.
All right, well, somebody I'm sure will have the information, clearly have the information.
Somebody will verify, but to my knowledge, this is not a 2-year tax. It is the reduction of VAT on the building materials that for 2 years, and the exemptions they give on some products that are for 2 years. That's my...
All right,
but both of us can be corrected on this, so I will be listening.
Somebody says that, all right, thank you so much. Somebody says that no VAT on building supplies is for 2 years. Okay, so I'm subject to correction on this, but I thought also that this health and security levy was for 2 years. Let's see if you have some information there. Can manager send me over some information? What it says there. The government of St. Lucia is said to introduce a health and citizen security levy for a 2-year period. So I'm correct. Commencing on August the 2nd, 2023. So it's for 2 years. The government of St. Lucia is set to introduce a health and citizen security levy for a 2-year period commencing August the 2nd, 2023. So I'm correct on this. So it's for 2 years. So by the time general elections are called in 2026, the tax will no longer be in effect. So, all right, let's take a call via WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Hi, good day, Timothy. Good day to all your listeners all around the world.
Yes, caller. Good afternoon.
Timothy, I'm going to ask you a question, and if you cannot answer, maybe Suku could assist us in that. Under that last Kenya administration, they implemented a dredging fee to assist with the Wasco Dam. Can you remember for how long it was supposed to be?
I can't remember exactly, but it was for a few years, maybe about 3 or 4 years. Big man?
Did you get a reduction on your bill after that time or anything so?
No, I haven't. No. And I think Suku has been speaking about that, He has been addressing that particular issue. Yes, he has been
I guess what are they, we could pin our eye and call it rain, Timothy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And Suku, if you're listening, I know you have not called in NewsSpin over maybe 2 years now. If you're listening, you can call to clarify this particular issue for the benefit of the audience. Still to come, we have an interview with someone. You'll find it very interesting. You are watching NewsSpin on our NewsSpin Facebook page, also on YouTube, and you're listening on Power 97.9 FM.
There is only one option when they've arrived. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus takes charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Introducing the new Low Select Virtual Service Desk, where one click is your access to every service. From my account to streetlight reports, requests for payment arrangements to settle arrears, change of name and address. Easy online forms give you access from anywhere and at any time. Every service you need at your fingertips. Go to our website, luselect.com, and click on the Virtual Service Desk widget. Luselect's Virtual Service Desk. Every solution at your fingertips.
First National Bank Stanley French Education Forum brings you Investor Day on Saturday, November 4th, 2023. Come hear the strategic insights into the First National Bank's journey from the past to the present and onto the future. The theme is From a Penny Bank to a Billion-Dollar Institution, presented by guest speaker Dr. Didicus Jules, the Director General of the OECS Commission. The second guest speaker is Mrs. Andrea St. Rose, the President of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of the Eastern Caribbean St. Lucia branch, presenting on the topic, the ease of doing business within the banking space. Be part of this enlightening forum on Saturday, November 4th at the Finance Administrative Center at Point Seraphin from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Or join us live online via our Facebook page. To be part of the live audience, contact Vernell Joseph at 286-7360.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. Flow is keeping you connected.
Things are heating up at the National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited. We've got some red-hot deals just for you with 100% financing. Rev up for some excitement with our incredible vehicle loan offer. Building or renovating, we've got you covered. Or pack up for that ideal getaway. This offer won't be available forever. Visit us today and take advantage of this limited time deal. Don't miss out on these fantastic deals with 100% financing. Only at the National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited. We're your friend when you're in need.
And he's done it! He's done it! And my goodness, it's gone.
The party is back! Premier Sports Inc. presents the KFC SPL T20. Powered by the National Lotteries Authority. Will defending champions Choiseul Craft Masters retain their crown? Or will they be pulled down?
Oh, it's that Perfection.
From October 13th to the 28th at the Darren Sammy Cricket Grounds and Grosley Playing Field. Grab your tickets now. Sol Gas Station in Grosley, Amici Restaurant and Bar in Rodney Bay, Riverside Car Park in Castries, Soufre Foundation in Soufre, Monrepo, Choiseul, and Labrie Credit Union. Tickets are only $15 for adults, $5 for children. VIP $65 and $85. The party is back! The KFC SPL T20, powered by the National Lotteries Authority. Show them how to party.
If you suffer with pain from fibromyalgia, lupus, sickle cell anemia, sciatica, or arthritis, luckily because doctor specialists from overseas in St. Lucia will diagnose and treat patients who have been suffering long. Luckily, the core specialists will treat the symptoms of stroke, brain injuries, spinal cord injuries with shoulders, elbows, knees, back, and neck pain, even plantar fasciitis being a pain of the past. Luckily, the core specialists in St. Lucia EMG tests will measure the damage in neuromuscular disorders and diabetic neuropathy because, luckily, the core doctor specialist provides proper diagnosis using the most effective treatment for you to live free of pain.
La Clinique Ducor. Call 451-6559 or 721-9950. La Clinique Ducor, located at number 17 High Street, Castries.
Can't get a break from all this tax? Head to Automotive Art and get a taxcation. Automotive Art is offering you an ease from VAT and health and safety levy with savings of up to 15% and more. That's right, 15% of all tools, 15% of all accessories, 15% of car detailing, 15% of all rims, 15% of computerized wheel alignment, and 15% and more of selected tires with savings of up to 30% on some sizes. It's Automotive Art Taxcation. Visit us at Automotive Art at Vidbouteille Castries and Latunivier for today and enjoy a taxcation. Offer valid for limited time. Some conditions apply. See stores for details.
Are you working that 9-to-5 job but also juggling a side hustle? Well, Elks Credit Union has great news for you. Introducing Elks Credit Union Side Hustle Boost Loan. Need funds to take your side hustle to the next level? With our Side Hustle Boost Loan, you can access up to $50,000, giving your side hustle the boost it needs. And here's the best part. You'll have up to 5 years to pay it back with flexible repayment options that suits your budget. Whether it's expanding your inventory, upgrading your equipment, or marketing your services, Elks Credit Union is here to support your entrepreneurial dreams. Don't let your side hustle remain just a dream. Let Elks Credit Union empower you to turn it into a thriving reality. Boost your side hustle today with Elks Credit Union's Side Hustle Boost Loan. Contact us now or visit our website for more information. Elks Credit Union, your partner in success. Terms and conditions apply.
It's coming. The brunch of the century. Welcome to Sunburnt. Sunday, November 26th. Sunburnt. Sunburnt. It's coming.
Watching NewsSpin on our NewsSpin Facebook page. You are also watching on YouTube and listening to the broadcast on Power 97.9 FM. Online we have Shamak, and we'll be speaking with him about a particular rumor that is in circulation. Hello and good afternoon to you, Shamak.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for reaching out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tim is okay, not sir. Tim is okay. How are you?
Tim, I'm doing good. I'm feeling better today than yesterday.
Okay. Now, there's in circulation on social media, there is a video where a young male is claiming that you forced yourself on him or had sexual relations with him without his approval, and another name is being mentioned. What say you to this, Shamak?
To be honest, I was not even in Castro's yesterday. We were to Judd Mountain for lunch, and on my way up, a colleague called me and she told me there's a video. Have I seen it? I told her no. So she told me she's going to send the video. So when I saw the video, I kind of I jumped. So I pull up the vehicle and I look at the video, and I was kind of disturbed because I know these things can go very fast and it's a rumor. I have no idea. I don't know the individual. I've never seen him. I do not know him. The first thing I did, I went in panic mode and I just called up my lawyer right away. And then she was like, relax. I said, we need to do damage control because at the end of the day, I work so hard in this small country to build my brand and to build my name, to get respect. And for something like that to just come out. And it was almost like when you really look at the video, I look at the video again, it's almost like the person was really trying to get the guy to say something, because at the end of the day, the guy never really spoke. I think the person that was actually behind the camera that was actually asking him for the guy to say yes and stuff like that. But I do not know the guy. I do not know the voice of the person in the video. All what I have to say, I am not affiliated with that. I will never be affiliated with something like that. And I was kind of disappointed that somebody would take time off to do something like that.
What has been the reaction in terms of you getting calls? People are calling you and asking you whether this is true and so on.
Well, I wasn't getting the call saying if it's true. I was getting calls more for the corporate company, because as an event planning solution, you have people from all walks of life know you. So they call you and they say, Shamak, are you okay? I say, yes, I'm okay. So I was very impressed with that. I mean, coming from St. Lucia, only one person sent the video to me. That was my friend, where I saw the video for the first time. Nobody forwarded it to me. So basically, you got the support. And I think that the fact that the persons who called, because of they know your character, they call just to lend the support and stuff like that and say, keep your head above the water and stuff like that. But as I said, yesterday I was a little bit distraught. I was all over. But today I'm better, because I spoke about it and then stuff like that. And you got advice, professional advice on the situation.
Now, in that same video, the similar claim is being made about well-known chef Robbie Skeet. And since then, I came across several video messages and scripts and so on social media where he's saying that this is definitely not the case. He was not involved in any such incident. But let's talk about the impact of social media, the fact that people can use it, to spread false news and to be mischievous.
Now, it's funny you mentioned Mr. Skid's name. Somebody, a source called me today, and I say Mr. Skid got the guys arrested. because I guess, I don't know if whatever string he pulled, I think it's 2 persons, they got them arrested. Yeah, I mean, social media can either make you or break you. I mean, that's why even stopping if all this AI now people can take your photos. It's very scary how you use social media. I mean, like I use it for my business. I mean, for advertising purposes and stuff like that. But on the other hand, I try to not to mingle too much because people can take stuff on social media and make it into something that will suit themselves.
What for you is the lesson? Is there a lesson in it for us in St. Lucia, in the world?
I think the lesson is persons that forward the video, you have to be very careful. I think when you see a video, you have to dissect it and you cannot just go wrong and run with it. Because I think if you in a situation, you wouldn't want that. I mean, I walk in the streets, I've been everywhere today, and my head up, nobody's approaching me saying anything because I'm walking, I'm like, to me, it doesn't exist. Because that's not me. So it was just scary. The fact that it's your name. If you had no idea, Shamak you're in St. Lucia, fine. But the fact that it's me and it's almost like you're a local celebrity. It's like, oh my God, what's happening? Somebody's coming for me. I maybe say Halloween passed already, but what's happening? So, but the lesson is try to, if something like that happen, I guess it's to stay focused and get professional advice and stuff like that, because the lawyer was like, hey, if you're going to make a statement, you need to make sure there's some words you have to use and stuff like that, because people can check your whatever you say and twist it and to make it suit themselves.
Any final comments, Shamak?
I just have to say thanks for the persons who reach out, and those who did not reach out or those who did not understand, just take a little time to understand, because I mean, like, these things, I mean, like, that was maybe mine today, but we have had situations where videos have leaked, sexual videos and stuff like that. I think we just have to be very careful the way we drag people's names in the gutter and the way we fabricate stories that are not true. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for speaking with us. You just heard that from a flamboyant individual, and that is Shamak. Claims that were made about him having sexual relations with an individual without the person's permission, and according to him, that is definitely not true. Another person was made reference to as well, and that individual has also denied it. And as we heard from Shamak, apparently the two individuals who look like they're egging the guy on, you know, to identify and to make reference to individuals, etc. According to him, those two individuals might have been arrested by the police. It is a video that has gone viral. Kimani, the chat room, what's in there? I think we have a call. Let's take the call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to Rick.
I tried like hell to call yesterday.
Yeah, we had so many calls. Go ahead.
In case there are those who took me too seriously. And to explain that I was only being a fake pastor yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, day before yesterday. When I referred to myself as Pastor Wayne, I was being a fake. But then again, I thought about it, and I thought that's kind of redundant, because most of the pastors you can think of are themselves fake. So that the pastor thing is a fake thing.
Because
so,
I mean, we have so many, and we have so many apostles these days. Oh, yeah. We have bishops these days.
Oh yeah. Tell me, you've heard the line that God's help those who help themselves?
Yeah.
Where do you think that comes from?
I assume it's coming from where? The Bible? Is it coming from the Bible? I'm not too sure.
That's what most people would think.
I don't know. I don't know where it came from, but it does make sense.
It doesn't make sense?
It does make sense.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But it contradicts the idea of God, eh?
Yeah.
Because God helps everybody. It's supposed to help everybody, right? But anyway, it's not scriptural. It's been attributed to a lot of people, from Aesop to Benjamin Franklin. But you think about it. And then I find myself having to ask you, can you think of anything worthwhile that happened anywhere left to politicians?
Anywhere in St. Lucia or around the world?
Anywhere worldwide.
There are instances.
Anything significant that was brought about by politicians, good and significant, the change.
I mean, there are instances when, for example...
I will save time
politicians sometimes... No, hold on, Rick. I think there are instances, that generally speaking, there are instances when you have brave politicians will enact the appropriate legislation, irrespective of any fallout, in respect of anything that would impact their reputation or the possibility of them being elected or re-elected into office. There have been instances, yeah.
Well, you will find that most things that politicians do are either inspired by people action or by people inaction. The possibly good things usually come from people pressure. It may take a while, but serious people pressure. I mean regular people pressure. And the things that are convenient for politicians. For example, I like examples. I had some politicians actually bragging about a poll that was conducted, fair enough, in perhaps the most brainy part of our country. The poll was conducted in what is possibly the brainiest part of our country. You know where that is?
That's where, Labrie?
The Boulevard. That's where everybody goes to get the pulse of the country.
Okay,
no?
but those polls are not scientific, one. And hold on, Rick, hold on. I want to clear this. The polls are not scientific, one. And also, two, those could be doctored. You go out there, you speak to 10 people, and you choose 3 or 4 people whose responses would be in sync with what you want to disseminate to the public.
Well, I don't know as much as you, Tim. You know much more about those things than I do. So I just stick to the blatant fact, what I see in front of me. And I see the usual brain trust from the Boulevard, who know astronomy, they know about earthquakes, they know what the government should do. You name the subject, this brain trust in the Boulevard will give you the answer.
So you're saying those people in the Boulevard and Constitution Park, those people are not intelligent people?
They are not what?
They are not intelligent?
I would never say a thing like that.
Oh.
I would think it's because the media recognizes how bright these people are, how astute and perspicacious they are. That's why the media goes to the Boulevard and Constitution Park to get answers on some of the most serious things affecting life in St. Lucia. I wouldn't think it's because they think it's dopes or because they think they're drunks and vagrants. I wouldn't think that.
Because the Boulevard and Constitution, Constitution is our Woodford Square in Trinidad, you know. In Woodford Square, the Constitution Park and the Boulevard is our Woodford Square from Trinidad. That's where all the debates and discussions take place in that country.
If I remember a little bit of my Greek thing, I think the Acropolis was the equivalent of that in Greece. I think. I don't remember offhand. But I'm saying to you, for years now, journalists have gotten their vibe, the people vibe, the answers to any question you come up with, financial, economic, or scientific, the tides, you name it. The journalists go and get the people's voice from Constitution Park or from the Boulevard. Is that true or not?
Yes, mostly there, yes.
Okay, so, well, but anyway, it seems, and I had politicians on the government side are bragging and presenting those people on screen for the whole world to see. These brain boxes who have a view on the 2.5 tax levy. And they all thought it was wonderful, and complimented the government for it. Now, I imagine that those people go to the supermarket. I imagine they eat, and I imagine they buy sanitary napkins and all the other things that suddenly are in the public domain these days. I imagine they too buy that, right?
Yes, they do.
So, if they say it's a dream thing, one guy almost said that it was a divine inspiration for the Prime Minister to have imposed that on the people.
Okay.
Right?
But let me tell you something else, Rick. The intelligentsia in St. Lucia.
What intelligence?
The so-called academics.
We just talked about the intelligentsia.
listen, the academics, the real academics, the bright people in St. Lucia, they do not contribute to such discussions, at that level. Okay? They do it quietly, and they do it among themselves. So it's just a small number of people who are in the boulevard or in Constitution Park who are always eager to speak their mind. That is not representative of our thinking in the country as a whole.
But Tim, if somebody were to ask you, I have a friend likes to ask me those kind of questions. How you know that? If somebody were to ask you how you know that, you lose,
No.
Because what you know for a fact...
No. Rick, I disagree with you on that. Because,
I didn't say disagree.
Because
disagree
as one has been in broadcast media for a while now, I know that hold on, Rick, hold on. I know when reporters go out to the streets and want to speak to people, there's only a certain category of individuals who want to speak. All right? Well, other people do not want to appear on those programs. They don't want to put their face to it, their voice to it, etc. That's all. That's why you see the same faces, always the same faces, the same individuals who are reacting to questions on the streets. The voxes.
All right, let me ask you a question, Jim.
Mm.
And I need to tell you before I forget. I have some friends overseas, and they have young people.
Rick, are you still on?
Are you with me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm listening, Rick.
I have some friends overseas in the States and in England, and they have kids, third generation St. Lucians and so on. And so a few of those parents have been asking me to tell you that when you speak Creole or your callers say something in Creole,
translate
that you should, for their sake, you should interpret. So that they get what, because they're interested in St. Lucia. And by the way, didn't the Prime Minister recently give citizenship to all these people?
To which people? The generations of second generation.
Yes, third generation,
yes.
and so on.
So
the Prime Minister cares about the kids of the diaspora, and so should you.
Mm-hmm.
So you should interpret when the guys come up with the
Creole.
Creole
expressions.
With the Creole thing,
yeah.
Or even when I say something in Creole, which is about the worst, you should definitely translate it, even if I refer to a certain section of the media in Creole.
Right.
You should also explain that to them. But Tim, on a more serious note, the point I'm getting at is the people, the intelligentsia that you imagine exists, they eat. They're not that much richer than the average bear, Tim. Because the so-called intelligentsia of St. Lucia, by and large, got to fame and fortune, quote, working as public servants, You know with me?
Yes.
Our brain boxes, most of the people who you regard here as elite or whatever, they're all former public servants or public servants. And to my mind, I don't think public servants deserve any kind of kudos, because all they do is follow and perhaps work to the detriment of the country. I don't have much respect for public servants, Tim, because they are complicit in everything that's wrong in the country. You don't hear them complaining. They're not available for interviews. Permanent secretaries, retired permanent secretaries, judges, retired judges, they're not available for anything. I was joking about the intelligentsia a while ago. But to back up what you say, you couldn't get them to comment. They won't comment on anything. So we are left now with politicians holding round tables. I watched Guy and them last night, and they are politicians, Tim. So whatever they're going to say is comparable with what the government is doing or whatever it is or whatever it's doing. I want to hear how people live in this country. I'm not the brokest guy, but it's hard every day. Anything, you fix your car, today it's one rate. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow it's changed by $50, $60, Tim.
Yes.
But nobody's spelling out those things. You just hear the cost of living. Nobody's coming up with cases in the press, in the newspaper, wherever. You don't read anything about how the average St. Lucian with kids live. How many meals do they have? What about medicine? What about health care? All you hear is this umbrella phrase, the cost of living. But the cost of living should be broken down. The cost of living should be how a person in Labrie is affected who needs to get to Castries urgently and cannot afford the ride because the $2 they had yesterday, they use it up to eat.
Yeah.
We don't hear any of those things. So the politicians, even the opposition, they will profit the opportunity to underscore how the government doesn't care. But at the end of the day, politicians are politicians. And I wonder why nobody in this country, none of these people who have contributed to the horrible situation we have that has accumulated over years and years of this kind of bullshit life that we live here with nobody talking anything useful except in the boulevard and in rum shops, drunken dialogue. And there's no shame. Tim, there's no shame attached to it, you know. These people will tell you the most insane things. Like, will tell you, well, look, the price. Do you know, you were talking about monopolies earlier. You know what was Emma Hippolyt's excuse back in the day, 2005, whatever it was, back in the day, for NIC investing in Blue Coral?
Yeah.
You know what the reason for that was?
You tell me.
The reason was she did not want a monopoly supermarket situation in this country. She didn't want it because that time JQ was closing or whatever, and the main supermarket there was Michael Chasney and Lyra, I think. Is Lyra still operating?
Lyra Supermarket?
Yeah.
No.
God. So I'm wondering if Massey's charge is
but we have a different supermarket in the same location, huh? On Marion Street, yeah.
If Massey's turns out to be a problem for most people, etc., etc., what about the other stores? Are prices higher there or the prices lower, Tim?
It is being suggested that the prices are comparable, basically.
So if the prices are a little lower, then why don't they, in hordes, go out to those stores that have to, unless Massey alone has what St. Lucians eat nowadays.
Maybe the brands too. People purchase according to the brand. So maybe sometimes you prefer a particular brand at a particular supermarket.
Particular brand.
Yeah, people are into branding.
Well, Tim, I want to tell you that what I've taken to, instead of watching shows now, I spend more and more time on Netflix. And what I've been watching lately is a series called Our Planet. And it talks about the millions of years back and what it's at the heart of this is how animals and humans evolved and how adaptable we are, from fish to crabs to animals to human beings. And I think, boy, that is at the heart of our problem. We can adapt to living in a toilet, Tim, and sleeping there. We are the most adaptable people I can imagine. We can adapt to anything. That is at the heart of our problem. We are not interested in being successful or we can get by simply by surviving. Like crabs survive versus somebody having a life as a fairly successful human being who grabs opportunities and so on and so on. We have no opportunities in the country. Everything is on the floor. The only dialogue comes from politicians and vagrants. And we expect a country to move. The church has shut its doors, apparently. Not a word, not a word, not a word. And we keep on saying that over and over and over, Tim. We have adapted even to that as well. And Rick just talking. What is Rick doing? Rick been doing what? By the way, I heard the Central Castries minister was on my case last night of saying that Castries is a ghetto, and his main concern was how come I didn't say that when Chasney was there. Tim, I've been writing that Castries is a ghetto for years, because you look around Castries, and every day it acquires the look of a ghetto a little more. And it's not just now. And that doesn't mean that Richard Frederick, I've said it before, of all the ministers we've had for Central Castle Representative, give Jack his jacket. I think he has been the best one for what it is, for what it's worth to it. But that doesn't change the fact that the city looks more than ever as a ghetto. But there are people who are going to tell you, nah, that looks great. It's a great city. You know, you think it's better than Central Park or New York? That's what we have. We adapt to anything at all. Thank you very much for so much time.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you so much for calling. A missing person alert. A young lady, she is 14. Her name is Sharoni Popo, also known as Alana. Her address is Jirakako Babano. Last seen leaving her school premises on Tuesday, and that is the 31st of October 2023, between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. Anyone with information regarding her whereabouts, please contact her mother at 726-4351. That is 726-4351. Contact the Babano Police Station at 456-4120, 456-4120, or the crime hotline at 555. So once again, Sharoni Popo, also known as Alana, 14 years old, of Jirakako Babano. She was last seen leaving her school premises on Tuesday, 31st October 2023, between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. Anyone with information regarding her whereabouts, please contact her mother. Contact her mother at 726-4351, the Babano Police Station at 456-4120, or the crime hotline at 555. So her photograph is on Facebook right now. Those of you who are listening, you could always try to log on to our NewsSpin Facebook page, and you'll get a look at this young lady. So in case you encounter her, you'll be able to call the relevant numbers that I've provided to you. In just a moment, if the Prime Minister were to receive points for crowd response, let's say if he'll receive, let's say 10% for crowd response, he would have gotten at least, 1%? But we'll hear from him in just a moment. Some quick comments from the chat room. Kimani.
Another comment, well, a comment in the chat room. The public servants have to protect their daily bread because if they come out and express their views, they will risk losing their jobs. Another comment, someone says, oh boy, NewsSpin is on another level today. This comment was when we had the interview with
Shamak.
This government will be the detriment of the middle class. Someone else says the Blue Coral investment was the most egregious act by any government. The SLP is absolutely classless. Taxes can be essential for funding public services, but excessive or poorly designed taxes can discourage economic growth and burden individuals and businesses, potentially hindering investment and job creation. Finding the right balance is crucial for a healthy economy. The worst is yet to come with this levy fiasco, yet some people are clapping even when they are feeling the financial squeeze. Another comment in the chat room. Yes, sir. Increased fuel prices can strain household budgets and impact the cost of goods and services, making it a significant concern for consumers and businesses alike. Someone says, by all accounts, this levy is illegal. Another comment, Guy again is right. Inflation can be detrimental for various reasons. It erodes the purchasing power of a currency, causing prices to rise and reducing the real value of savings. High inflation can lead to economic instability, making it harder for people to plan for the future and for businesses to make long-term investments. Additionally, it can disproportionately impact those on fixed incomes and with limited resources, exacerbating income inequality. Central banks often aim to maintain low and stable inflation to mitigate these negative effects. Someone says, wouldn't you prefer to be able to access all medical services under one roof rather than running from one building to another like a live fowl whose neck has just been cut off and released? Do you want me to continue in the chat room?
At least two more.
Someone says the previous mayor was the best thing to ever happen to Cass Trees. And finally, someone says she's not. Oh, I can't read this comment.
All right. Thank you so much. So the Prime Minister spoke at the opening ceremony, that's at the St. Lucia Taiwan Partnership Trade Show, which is into its 16th year. And it's on from November the 3rd, that's today, until the 5th. He was not happy with crowd response, lack of crowd response. Let's hear the Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, Mistress of Ceremonies. Let me recognize Excellency Errol Charles and Mrs. Charles, Governor General of St. Lucia, President of the Senate, Honorable Speaker of the House of Assembly, my cabinet colleagues, Ambassador Chen and Mrs. Chen, and other members of the Diplomatic Corps, permanent secretaries, staff of the Ministry of Commerce, exhibitors, members of the Taiwanese Embassy, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. You can answer me, of course. Good evening.
And I'm saying to you, goodbye. What's the response? Should I only clap? I'm saying goodbye. Kimani, clap. Don't like the response. Well, as a broadcast, thank you so much for watching on our NewsSpin Facebook page as well as on YouTube. And thank you so much for listening to the broadcast on Power 97.9 FM. Have yourself an enjoyable Friday and a pleasant weekend, a safe one as well. And God willing, we'll be back on Monday, same time, 12:30 in the PM, with another edition of the most monitored talk show in the world, NewsSpin. Goodbye.